Hey y'all, I just want to walk through this sketchbook entry with you. This is going to be our entry looking at patterns and thinking of patterns we can use for the Zentangle Animal Project. With the beginnings with patterns, just as a brief introduction, there's a few different ways you can break down this information. One way is thinking of any sort of repeating lines, shapes, forms, etc., etc. And then these types of kind of lines, shapes, forms can be broken down into organic or natural, where you're thinking of kind of lots of curves. And then you can also think of another category of almost geometric or man-made, where you're thinking of very kind of straight, rigid lines, thinking of kind of man-made shapes like triangles, squares, rectangles. And then sometimes there is a little bit of overlap within that, like with octagons and hexagons, as well as some other kind of natural phenomena too. And then for the sketchbook assignment itself, what I want you to do is we are going to be looking at making a set of 10 patterns you can use almost as a library as you start working on your Zentangle. So as you start working through your patterning, really thinking of those different breakdowns. So thinking of repeated lines, thinking of repeated shapes, repeated forms, and then thinking of, is the line or the shape organic or is it geometric? So that's one way you can kind of start to go through and brainstorm some of those patterns. And sometimes it can be as simple as kind of picking a shape, a line, a form, and then just kind of repeating it and then adding to it once you have that general information. Another thing that you can start to look at is thinking of how you can either color in or use different line work to create some implication as far as value. Otherwise, these patterns can range from anything from kind of really simplistic to more and more complex. Alrighty, so kind of looking for 10 patterns. These don't have to be ones you have to stick with your Zentangle. It's really just to brainstorm and get some starting ideas. One thing I do want to point out, if you are stuck or you just need some ideas or need some inspiration to get these patterns going, if you either look on Google, YouTube, Instagram, there might even be some on TikTok, and if you look up Zentangle patterns, there are tons and tons and tons of different resources as far as just kind of ideas as far as how to make patterns. There's like walkthrough videos on how to create some more complex ones, and then there's also ones where people are just kind of walking through like how to add variation or how to like add value with them as well too. So take a look if that's something that you are struggling with. Otherwise, looking at 10 total patterns for this sketchbook entry. Alrighty, I will see you next time. Bye, everybody.